get set up here. I don't even know if this is gonna work from this location. I just wanted to try because it's Christmas Eve and I got a lot to be thankful for and an audience out there that I want you guys to know that I really appreciate you. And if this is coming in clear and you hear this part of it, post your favorite thing that I did this year. It would really help me out to understand um, kind of the best direction to go because I do this channel as fun and I also work in this industry. So I kind of use YouTube as my avenue of like exercise. Like some people jog. I do stuff on YouTube that has to do with either starting fluid, a seized engine, or just, in general, something that's non-operational. I try and make it operational if possible because I like to help mechanical things, you know? So let me get a microphone on because you probably can't hear me that well. And so far I'm talking to nobody, but my goal in this live stream is to put this snowmobile back together. It's currently something I'm working on for a friend. It's a 69 Ski-Doo Olympic 340 or 335 really. It's pretty neat. So I just went through the process of cleaning the gas tank, and the gas tank's part of the chassis. So in order to really do it well, you got to take it apart so that you can treat it as one part and not be shaking around the engine and all the other bits. So hang in there. I am here. I'm putting up signage. That pretty much explains what I'm doing here. Let me get a microphone on because this is amateur hour. All right, now the microphone should be on, and I'm just gonna kind of talk as I go and collect this snowmobile chassis from the other part of my shop. I'm going to actually move a snowmobile through a doorway. So I apologize for the noises that some headphone users might hear at this point in time. I could actually move the camera to this location, couldn't I? Yeah, why not? All right, we're gonna go for a little journey here. Oh boy. I'm moving the whole assembly here out to this is what I call my mechanic shop. The middle of the building is actually a body shop, and then the room that the tractor is in is a assembly area, work area. It's the warmest part of the shop. I usually run this place about 60 degrees if I can get it there, but the past few weeks it's been really windy and it just sucks the heat right out of the place, and you know how concrete works. It's very unforgiving. So there's the Ski-Doo, and I'm gonna get it onto this creek. a nice set of Saab triple carburetors that I've brought through the initial cleaning, and they're made by Solex. Actually, they're going to need another couple hours of work before they're even back to a state where you would think to use them. But any and all parts that I can bring the condition back, I try to, because my experience overall doing this type of work is that the parts factory with are the most dependable, easily fixable systems, whereas when you improve something, you're always taking away from some attribute about the system. So this Ski-Doo here is one of those machines that I would classify as a near perfect balance between efficiency, performance, and its intended use. It's not like this is an actual tool. It's not only a leisure mobile, it's actually a tool, because these were originally required by people that were using, other modes of transport to do things up in the northern regions. So this type of a machine allowed for people to live more remote and be able to get the supplies and everything that they need. And if you were a trapper in those days and you had one of these, then you had a much wider area that you could work. I think my ancestors were probably fur trappers at some point. I'm glad we aren't in Canada. I love Canadian YouTubers though. Zip Ties and Bias Plies. I tend to watch his channel because he's one smart feller, and he is very resourceful. The man only has one leg, and I've never seen it slow him down. I mean, the throttle application that guy has, he's like, it's a fine-tuned science to be able to do what he does and make it look easy. So I recommend somebody out there will enjoy Zip Ties and Bias Plies. Actually, on that subject, I'm going to see if anybody's watching this. We have one person and one like. We're 8 minutes in, so that's pretty good. Who do we have? Oh, UPS outside. So I'm going to attempt to get the front end of that onto the creeper, and it's just going to go well. But on that same subject, as far as YouTubers that I enjoyed watching this year, let's see. Carter Auto Restyling. He's had a pretty awesome year as far as I'm concerned. He's got all the right things going, and he's a motivated dude, and he's very skilled. Cold War Motors, Scott, up in where is he at? It's cold there, very snowy, and he has an awesome poodle. But he's somebody that helped me move my metalworking skills a bit further, just because of his attitude towards shaping metal and fixing rust. It's almost like he hates doing it, but he can't stop doing it. And I identify with that. It's like, rust is awful. People cause it, and then the person that didn't cause the rust is usually the guy to fix it. And it's weird. You do so much work on these cars, and there's very few cars that I can say, like, oh, I saw the next
10 years of that car's life. It's like you move on to the next car and the next car and the next car, and there's a population of cars out there that you have spent many hours underneath, inside of, in the trunk, correcting what somebody else ruined. So it's a tough thing. Fixing rust on cars is an intimidating, tough thing. And that's why the whole series on the Saab was it was neat. I was presenting a alternative to people for fixing cars that have really bad rust, but the car is otherwise capable of returning to the road. Well, if you do what I just did, I mean, you're not risking much when you put the car back in service. Drive it in the sand, drive it in the salt. I mean, what are you going to do? Rust out your repairs that didn't take that long to do? Do again another 10 years. Fully restored cars are for museums, and they are for people that want that car to be perfect, and they want to keep it perfect. If you want to drive something, then, make it drive, get in it, and drive it. If you don't like the color, or if you want the paint to be glossier, go after that. But when you bite into a full restoration, it's a serious game. And the guy doing the work also has, his business in the mix, because you're part of the cash flow of a business. So it's a tricky trade. And after many years of doing it, I'm kind of changing more towards the parts end of it. I want to feed restoration. So leave a comment below if you're looking for something GM related, snowmobile related. I got, you name it. You name it, it's probably here. So, should just, you know what? This is one of those moments where this seems like a difficult thing, but it's actually really simple. Watch. We're just going to do bulldozer stuff. It's amazing. It's amazing how simple things can be when you don't overthink them. And that's it. Oh boy, we've got a conflicting thing here. Moving stuff every day, all day, moving things by myself. It's a difficult thing to not actually have issues occur. And I remember coming through this door with it that I was very close to my nicely repainted Corvette. So I think I'm going to actually just tuck the nose over a little bit. Can somebody put a thumbs up if I'm coming through clear? Or chat, can I see the chat? I don't even know how this works. Is that the button? Messages are visible. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Okay. So somebody please say you're coming in clear. Oh, thank you, Barn Projects. Good to see you. All right, I'm gonna move this car. I'm sorry if this screws up the live stream, but I got to get the nose. I'm gonna get the nose of this car over. We're gonna turn this way. You only need maybe an inch or two. Yeah, ask me why my back hurts. I'm actually trying to sell this car right now if anybody's interested. Fresh paint job. Build yourself the dream C4. Cars are actually awesome. They don't nearly have the reputation that they should. Because in my opinion, it's one of the last true muscle cars. Unmatched in many categories for many years. So now, for the next event, we can watch a Ski-Doo come through a door that's part of a sliding door. Would you expect any less? We're going to go through backwards. Not many people know how to use reverse on one of these snowmobiles. You gotta know how to engage reverse. See, it's in reverse now. Look at that, plenty of room. Actually, I'm gonna use one of my wheel dollies. One of the best things I ever bought was this set of wheel dollies from Eastwood. They have not let me down. They don't leak oil, and they roll excellent. I've got a friend here with a towing business, and there was an occasion or two where he asked me if he could borrow them, and he went and did a recovery of a vehicle in a sketchy situation, and the wheel dollies were the exact right tool. So easy does it. There we go. We're through the door. I bet this is probably the strangest live stream that's happening right now, and that's okay. I'm gonna relocate the camera again. Thanks for hanging in there, if that's still you, Barn Projects. Here's the tractor. Yeah, the International Scout that I painted on this channel, that's about the maximum tire size, and those tires are 33s. If you've got a tire that's like 12.5 inches wide and a 33-inch diameter, you have to put them like at this angle and kind of roll them around. But those wheel jacks pick up that Scout like really, really well. You know, it's a heavy front end of that truck. Those 304 SV 304s, I think they're like just over 500 pounds. It's a lot of cast iron, and you know that front axle and everything. All right, I'm gonna relocate the hood. Hood's in really nice shape. Doesn't have really anything wrong with it aside from spider cracks, and it's the original windshield needs a little bit of polishing to really make it good. So now I'm gonna shoot the gap with the Ski-Doo, dodge the Corvette. This could go real wrong, but that's okay. Oh, yeah, this is the sketchy point. Kind of off center on this thing. Oh, we're getting it. We're getting it. Come on up here. It's not going well. Come on. We're all screwed up. Oh, we're getting it. Missed the Corvette. Like a glove. Landed. All right. Now to get this off of there. Well, skis would be a good start. Skis would be this thing. Got left hand. So something neat, like the way these things were built. Like this bolt, super nice bolt, grade 8. They fit like a glove, and this side of the bracket is normally threaded. So you can actually pinch this a little bit more to take up some slop, and then there's a lock nut. And the way I learned about this when I was a kid was by taking the nut off and then, hammering on this, and then it would be stuck in the threads because they'd mess up the threads. And then I'd try and turn it, and then it would gall these, and then it would get stuck in here. So I learned everything the hard way many years ago, and I try to not make those same mistakes. But the old engineering, put threads on the other side. Then if the nut falls off, or you lose it or forget it, you're still going. It's a good idea. So this snowmobile project is actually just like it's a preservation. I'm not gonna repaint it. I'm just kind of getting it back in running condition so that it's not gonna break down on the guy and he can enjoy it. Oh, I've made a critical error. This yep. Steering arm was going the wrong way. I just kind of had this idea, I'm like, I got to go over to the shop and move that snowmobile and kind of put it together because I've got a chance with the conditions that I can actually run this engine after I rebuild the carburetor, which I just got the gasket set for. So in order to do the next step in cleaning this tank, I need to put gas in it and run it and dirty up a few fuel filters, because it's going to happen. It was nasty stuff. It was the varnish in this fuel tank. Let me make sure that I'm actually... Hey, 4 people? 5 people? Hey, everybody that's watching. We're putting together a 69 bubble nose Ski-Doo because I have to do it anyway. And I wanted to wish everybody out there a happy holiday season, a Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. I'd like each of you to comment your favorite JMP Saves Cars moment. From this year. We'll start with this year, and then we'll go with overall. And I'm going to read them in a few minutes. I'm working on the other ski here. And somebody tell me if my microphone dies. I have one on the charger, but I'm admittedly terrible at technology because I basically live in 1970, I guess. So let me know if you can't hear me or can't see me. Don't care. Oh, yeah. Nine sixteenths. The complexity of this machine is, it's about the pinnacle of engineering something that's purpose-built. And the fact that 50 years later, this thing is still going. I'll admit the biggest downfall of this snowmobile is its chassis height, the engine position, and the handlebar position, if you ask me. In one way, it's an asset because you have really good slow speed maneuvering. You can shift your body weight, and you're already pretty low to the ground. So if you fall off this thing or you roll it, it's not a terrible event. But in my experience, I've messed up my wrist real bad on one of these from coming off of a snowbank and the clutch kind of making it jump off the snowbank, and I sprained my wrist on the handlebars. I've broken the handlebars off of these, like, hooking a tree going through the woods or hooking a stump or something on the belly pan. And when you hit that engine and the handlebars, you know it. So just like anything, it's dangerous. Anything above walking speed, you can get hurt, You got to think about that. We're only supposed to be going about, 20 miles per hour at the most if we're running, and you can get hurt running. All right, it's back to a snowmobile from a salamander. I did close that door, good. So I need somebody to grab that when I lift this up. Ready? No, we're smarter than that. What do we have? We don't have much. All right. Next step. should bring you guys in closer. We can do that. I got my mirror rigged up here, but I'll try. There we go. Hey, 6 people, 3 likes. Where's the top chat? No, not. Live. Oh, but where does it go? I don't understand. Live chat. All messages are visible. Do I have to turn my phone to be able to see this? What is that? Well, this is embarrassing. Hey, 11 people. Good to see you. Do I have to put my phone the other way? Well, this is not good. Live chat. The Turbo Panzer this year, I liked a lot also. Yes. The Turbo Panzer, I'm sorry, I can't really see the live chats. I'm actually going to respond to them after the video, if that's okay with people. The Turbo Panzer was like a, you know, I wanted to do something that I did very early on when I was modifying these garden tractors, and I had never seen anybody put a turbo on a Briggs & Stratton, so I did that. I put a Mikuni carburetor feeding a turbo. I knew from this old book I had about Gale Banks that you can do that. It's like a wet feed draw through turbo, and it works pretty well. It has some drawbacks, but it works pretty well. And I did this because I recently got that other Panzer. It was another abandoned, you know, tractor in somebody's backyard, and I'm like, wow, I can put the engine that came out of the other one into that one, and then play around with it and kind of get a benchmark for the, you know, the fast tractor. So I'm gonna quit screwing around here. Get this engine on. Oh dear, that stud is a little wiggly. This thing's got some cracks in the chassis around the motor mounts. That's pretty typical. They vibrate pretty bad. But for what this thing is going to be asked to do, it just needs to be, you know, everything needs to be greased up, cleaned up, and it needs to be put in use and then put away clean, and you just keep repeating that. And every 10 years or so, you got to do this. These things, the chassis actually traps all kinds of stuff, and they will rot right out. So it's in amazing condition for its age, and it was well protected. There's no doubt about that. So I'm going to show you the complexity of how the engine goes in one of these, and we're done. That's one step. I think I've had a hurt back for about a month now. And it's one of those things that in this type of job, you know, many jobs, you got to work hurt. Like, I'm constantly bending down and picking things up. For some reason, I like to work on the floor, put stuff on the floor. The benches are always full. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's kind of ridiculous. And I found recently that if I just bend down a different way, if I go with my left instead of doing the same thing, it's a bit better. But it's still working in a mild amount of pain that I would say most mechanics, most people that use their arms as tools and their bodies like a machine, you know what I'm talking about. But if you love what you do, which I do love what I do, it's not the worst. Microphone is still on. I hope that this isn't making some annoying noise. Good. All right, here comes the steering system. So here's the whole thing. Steering system, decompression, brake cable, and the throttle cable remains on the engine. Here, I'm going to get out of view so you can see how this just kind of threads in. We're going for a view change. Hold on. You could have put the sleep up on your car lift with some 2x4s, get it off the ground. Yeah. It on the bottom side of this thing, it's not the most uniform. No, I don't actually need this mirror. Excuse the vibration. We're deleting. I have a motorcycle mirror on a stick behind here so that I could potentially see the live chat. Can I zoom? Whoa! I hope some people out there appreciate my sense of humor. I'm, like Barn Projects pointed out, I am a goof. And I don't plan on changing that. I grew up watching, you know, Adam Sandler, Jim Carrey, Robin Williams, Jerry Seinfeld. I think Seinfeld's one of the best shows. I still watch it. Just classic, you know, pretty clean humor. It's good stuff. While I'm here, so got these bolts going in the. Oh, you know what? Should do this first. Let me get this steering secured, and then I will return my broadcast. Oh, come on, come on. That's it. It's in. Oh. Again, to all viewers, I apologize, but you know what? This is the live stream we're doing. And I'm having a good time. 6 people remaining. What do you guys want to know about? I'm going to answer the first First question I see. Oh, we've been going for 40 minutes here. Better hurry up. It shouldn't take 40 minutes to assemble a Ski-Doo. You know, this is ridiculous. But I did want to point out the way that this steering hooks up. It's literally a cotter pin. Grab a nail here to get this cotter pin out. It's literally a cotter pin, a spring, and a washer. So just drop that guy through there. Spring goes on the end, and then the cotter pin. It looks like pretend stuff, and it gives kind of like I guess it's like a universal joint. It almost works like a Heim joint because the steering arm has to swing, and the spring and the washer allow it to have the ability to adjust its clearance. So I like weird ideas, and I like to build something in a way that I haven't before just to see what the difference is. And like the tractor here, the fast tractor is like pure, like blank canvas. You know what you're trying to accomplish, but it's like the easy way is like, no, don't do that. Do something else, and then when you come back around, you'll find the simplest, most effective way. That's what I found over the years. You know, studying many engineers' designs, I've worked on just about every type of vehicle there is, except for a locomotive. I have not worked on one of them. I'd like to. I think my earliest fascination was actually trains, Thomas the Tank Engine, and that was a neat show. I can almost remember the theme. Yeah, I can remember the theme, but I'm not gonna perform the Thomas the Tank Engine theme right now. Where did the... There it is. How do we get there? I forget. I think... Yeah, the brake cable. The brake cable uses this pathway, and then when it bends this way, it causes it to be out of the way. You see that? That's really good engineering. So check this out. The brake cable, like, stay is right there. So let me get and it's a solid hole. It's not like a little guy, but it holds the end of the cable. And the way and the length that the cable is what keeps it in position. And if you do it wrong, your brake cable goes into the clutch, I guess. Well, this is difficult. This is the hardest step. There's a little hole, and I gotta get the cable through, and can't seem to do it. I got it. Wow, that was a major challenge. So see that? This is underneath here, and this is here. So all that it really takes is one anything, and I believe there's supposed to be a metal clip right there. It's been years since I actually did much work on this generation Ski-Doo, but I sure do appreciate them. I like efficiency in designs. I know that I'm definitely one of the only YouTubers that's highlighting the the Saab cars. I don't know how much you guys have ever I don't know how much you guys out there have ever seen of Saab cars in the early days, but the Saab 96 to me is one of the strangest, neatest automobiles ever made. It was a very long-lived form. It went basically from 1962 to 1979 in Europe. We only got the 96, I think, until 73 or 74, somewhere in that neighborhood. The 96 was no longer being sent here, and they started making the 99, which became the 900. They started making the 99 in 1968 or 9. It might be 69. So Saab was using the V4 Ford engine because they really only had the two-stroke engine. And the V4 kind of got outpaced, and it wasn't going to be the engine of choice for the coming emissions decade. So they actually worked with Triumph to develop an inline four-cylinder engine that then evolved all the way to 1993, really, that same type of engine. I'm more of an overall appreciator. I'm actually reading and learning more and more about Saab's history, but I've been around guys through ice racing, rally racing, and endurance racing of these old Saabs for more than 15 years. And these things out on the racetrack are such a blast. They punch way above their weight class. So we've got some stuff going on here. I'll hook up this decompression lever. That's that. And we'll toss the hood on. Oh, that was a critical error. I'm going to move the camera again because I made a critical error and you can laugh at me. I left the gas cap on. Hey, 7 people. You guys are my 8 people. You 8 people are my favorite subscribers. 2026 is going to be a crazy year. Tell you right now that it's kind of all coming together. It's been many years since I've driven my Chevelle. So this year I was able to get my 72 Chevelle out of the garage and out on the road and enjoy it and live a high school dream that I've had forever. And then throughout the year, I've been trying to get more time on the tractor here and get that built. And now it's running. So 25 was a strange year. It was a hard year in business. But I can't be sorry about accomplishing some things that have been on my list for a long time. So back in high school, if you told me I would be doing a live stream on YouTube, assembling an old Ski-Doo in my own business with people actually enjoying it, I would be pretty, I wouldn't believe that, but I would say that would be cool. So here we are. Here's to 2026. Well, not the easiest hood to get on. And I suspect that this bumper is actually, it's pushed a little bit. Headlight engage. All right. 10 people. Hey, that's awesome. I really can't believe that. I really appreciate you guys hanging out for a minute. Oh my goodness. We're not in position here. We need to actually where is it? Oh, I see the issue. Come on. We're gonna get it now. This is why snowmobiles like this have to be in good shape. They have to be in good running condition because the hood is very difficult to work with. Oh, that's a real challenge. Yeah, this bumper is definitely out of line. It's all about finesse and persuasion. I had a hard time even getting it off of here, so I'm not surprised. This is horrendous. Can't do that. Oh, I got it. Wow. That was intense. Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Look at that. A Ski-Doo has appeared before your very eyes. Check out this thing right here. This rear glove box action, it's in near perfect condition. It's got like one crack in the seal right there. It's not even a crack really. But if you roll these things over, this is toast. So it's likely not the original, but it could be. It's the nicest one I've ever seen. Very brittle. That's a problem. That's a problem. Back this screw out. Oh dear. Oh, while I'm thinking of it, see this knife? Made by CRKT. I've been running this knife for 10 years. It's the best that I've ever owned. This end opens up paint cans, it turns wig nuts. If you use it accordingly, you can get this into a bunch of different scenarios where it's extremely handy. The end of this blade, you can see all of the use from jumping solenoids. Highly recommend this knife. About $70, and can't recommend this company enough for knives and tools. They are the Columbia River Knife and Tool Company. This screw has like a bend in it. It's not allowing me Oh, I see what's going on. This rear bumper is actually bent that way. There it is. Oh, now the seat. Then I can sit down for a second. You know, I did this whole video just to have a thing to sit on. Which one's the front? This is the rear. That's a fun noise. Ski-Doo's done. The seat has no fasteners. It just kind of goes on to some locks. Like that. Thank you for all of you that joined me during this live stream presentation. get your feet right up in here. There's actually hooks in there. You can shove your feet into the hooks right next to the clutch with the carburetor shooting fuel over you. Excuse me. It is 40 degrees in here. But I didn't want to have the stove making noise so that you guys could hear my beautiful narration of this scene. So, without further ado, happy holidays from JMP Saves Cars. If you guys enjoyed seeing a snowmobile come together in one episode, I know that I kind of did. It was fun because these things it's like a big toy, you know. It's not even that big, but it's like a full-size little model, but it works. Well, it doesn't work yet, but it will. So, I'm going to have some Ski-Doo video. We're going to see this thing out in the wild because I got to put miles on it and really get this thing working as good as it can be. So here's to 2026 and getting the fast tractor out there going. And I'd like to see this channel pass 5,000 subscribers. So if you know anybody that would be interested in this type of content, you should share it with them and give him a warning. Say the guy's a little bit weird, but he knows what he's doing. So thank you, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, best of wishes. This ski-mobile is a 1969 Ski-Doo Olympic. I'm afraid to turn the phone so I can reply, but I promise I'm going to address any questions that I can see in the chat unless the live chat disappears. I don't know. But no, this snowmobile was likely lightly restored maybe 20 years ago. It has sat for at least 20 years. So every fluid that touches it, all those surfaces are damaged. And I've cleaned the gas tank. I've got a seal kit for the engine. I'm going to rebuild the carburetor. Every surface is going to get cleaned. Any rust is going to be taken care of. It is in very, very good shape. Actually, to end the live stream, I'm going to very slowly move because I know that it will buff it. Or buffer, not Jimmy Buffett. But it is in excellent condition. I'm kind of concerned that there might be a leak from the crankcase here. But we can see that the piston is actually in very, very nice shape. No scoring. But you can see, look at the clutch. That needs to be all sanded perfectly smooth, or else this thing is going to do wheelies. Again, really appreciate it. Yeah, you can say that for sure. Today's Ski-Doos, they owe everything they've got to these. And it's not that this is better than a modern Ski-Doo, but I want to see one of those modern Ski-Doos still in this condition more than 50 years later. I think we'll end the video with, does anybody have any questions about the fast tractor? That's right, big homie 420. This thing's got plastic only where it should have plastic, and it's got steel everywhere else. I'm talking about the Ski-Doo. That is one tough unit right there. And one of the first vehicles to reach the North Pole, I believe. I'm going to fact check myself on that, but I believe it was a Ski-Doo. So there's going to be a video coming out about this tractor. I didn't show too much of it in this video, just because it's kind of a surprise, but guys that have stuck around for this whole video can have a look at it. This has been one of the biggest challenges I've ever taken on, and it's like, it's crazy when you start stacking up parts in a small space, how vital everything becomes. So to cover the plan on this tractor, I wanted to build this in a very similar way that it was originally constructed, and then expand upon it from that base idea. So it's going to be a solid tractor. I'm going to try to compete in tractor pulling with it. It's not likely to be competitive, but I'm going to try my best. I'm going to try to develop it. I'm sure I'm going to break some stuff. But after I do some pulling tractor stuff with it, my pursuit is then going to be making this drive on hard surfaces, kind of like a side-by-side, and try to see what kind of performance figures we can come up with. Top speed, acceleration, burnouts, you name it. I'm going to try and do it with this tractor because it's the most impractical vehicle to try to do this with. So it's a challenge, and it's quite funny to see a garden tractor with this much power and 20 possible gear ratios. So I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream. Thank you so much for everybody that attended, and I look forward to the next year. Yeah, that Volvo transmission, according to the guy that owned the tractor after my uncle, the Volvo transmission is not up to the task. So he was splitting the Volvo transmissions in half, and he said he was pulling around 15,000. So you can imagine the power is going to go somewhere, and it tries to push the two shafts apart. So I've got an idea to back up that case where I want to put some carbon fiber around the case to give it some more rigidity, and we'll see what happens. But you got to try in order to do. See you guys soon.